So Boring Fiction for Sleep was off to a rocky start, so that's why I had to level up my game, and that's level 2. So what to expect from this video? So why Boring Fiction for Sleep didn't take off yet, how this forced me to approach things from a different angle, and why REST protocols is solving a bigger and more urgent problem. So in a nutshell, Boring Fiction for Sleep, it started at the beginning of November. There was one breakout video which had like a couple of views, and after that it completely flatlined. Now this breakout video, it had a 15-minute narrative, so basically a sleep story for adults. It had 1 hour of rain and some ambient noise and 7 hours of a black screen. And what happened in this video is that viewers, they clicked away right after the narrative, and this led to low retention because the video was about 8 hours long and they only watched for 15 minutes. So after that the algorithm, it just didn't push it out anymore and nothing much happened here. So yeah, that kinda was not as expected. So initially I felt like, man, I worked so long on this, like to get it technically figured out. And you know, now this, like 3 videos, one did like a little bit and then nothing anymore. So my initial reaction was like, I need to approach a different angle. And the reason I could do this was that my bandwidth was not completely filled up, because I was only making these videos, so that's why I had the mental space, the mental bandwidth to really look at this. But yeah, what is still the same? So boring, I still think it's a hot keyword. It's still working, like people are still watching boring videos. So I don't think that's the problem. But what I learned basically is that boring is more saturated than I expected. And this is where I went wrong in my initial plan, because I saw a lot of channels that had like really high views and low subscribers, and I learned that you know, that's a good indication for a niche that is not completely saturated, but actually when I tried it, it kind of was saturated. So I started to like throw out a wider net. So I went back to Reddit to analyze like you know, what are people actually looking for. And so I went into the sleep Reddit, and I saw it right away. Like I saw that people, they had sleep problems. People were not looking for stories about that, and that really was an interesting point, because it would be silly to even start promoting sleep videos there, because that really was not the top of mind problem for that really big audience there. And I did see some other channels that were promoting sleep videos, but they didn't get any upvotes, and so I really realized like, okay, maybe I went a little bit wrong with my initial approach here. Now, but what I realized was that since this audience was so big, I thought like, hey, maybe solving sleep is a wedge, so a way into the market, and maybe that's gonna get the whole ball to start rolling. So that's basically how REST protocols started. I took a whole day to figure out a good name for the channel, and yeah, when it comes to sleep, like a lot of names are already taken, and also like a lot of domains, and the domains that were available were like extremely expensive, so that's why I kind of threw out a wider net. So instead of you know, having sleep in the name, I went with rest in the name, because like, you know, sleep is like the ultimate form of rest. And I found out that restprotocols.com was available, and also the handle on YouTube at restprotocols was also available. So I was like, I gotta use this. So that's what I went with. Now, the short of it is every person who sleeps bad wants to sleep better, because we all remember what it feels like when you sleep good. You just feel better, you do better, all is better. So that's why it's a very urgent problem, and you know, and it's really vivid. Like you just know what it feels like to sleep good, and it's also something that you really want if you've been sleeping bad for a really long time. So yeah, and yeah, r/sleep, it's busy. There's a lot of people there and they have a lot of sleep problems. So it really is a top of mind problem. And on Amazon you can find a lot of sleep related products, and they sell really well. So people are actively looking for that. So my conclusion is that solving sleep is simply a hotter market than sleep stories. So let's take a look at the reverse. So like boring fiction for sleep isn't gonna keep you from waking up at 3 AM. But once waking up at 3 AM is solved, then someone might be interested in sleep videos. And my reasoning here is that helping someone solve their sleep is gonna build trust, and then they might also be willing to give another product that I'm creating a try as well. So that's kind of how I'm going about this thing. Now, my final thoughts. So, what does it take? Because, you know, a younger me, when the videos didn't take off, would have been like, okay, I guess that's it. This is not meant to be. Would just have given up. But what I learned over the last 12 months, most of all, and also the years before that, is that this game of creating an online business, it takes determination, and not just a little bit of determination. It takes huge amounts of determination. It takes determination of the kind that's almost bordering on a sort of delusion. And so I have to push through. This is the thing. This is what I'm working on. I just need to find another angle to go work at the same problem, because I still believe that this is a hot market and I need to push through. And that's why I keep telling myself, like, this thing is gonna work and it's just a matter of time. Simple, very simple. And I just need to have the willingness to take a loss or like no profit for a longer period of time. And I've heard this many times, and most specifically when I was in Las Vegas for my mastermind, there was like a really successful guy, and he told me like, well, I was just willing to take a loss for 5 years. So 5 years, this guy took a loss of about 30,000 per year, and he was willing to do that. And so I was like, well, if this guy can do it, well, I may not be willing to lose 30,000, but I am willing to run without making any money, because this has to work. This thing is going to work. So, and this is also like what I try to give a little bit to you, because this applies to life as well. Like if you're going into a new career, there is going to be a period of hardship, a period where things don't work, where you're learning the game. And it's just part of it. There's no shortcut. If you really want something to work, you will have to have this determination to push through when things are not going your way as yet. The short of it, let me know in the comments which part of your journey forced you to approach things radically different, when you had to tell yourself things are gonna work out, it's just gonna take a bit of time. And also, this applies to business, life, relationship, all of those things. So keep that in mind as well. Now, and also let me know in the comments how I can make these videos more to your liking. So that's it. That's the video.